Hi guys, Andreas, Sonic Mainliner with another audiophile video. I may do a vinyl update at some point, but we'll see. Anyway, this is a video that was prompted by a video made by Steve Guttenberg, who uploaded a video, I don't know, around 10 days ago or thereabouts. And he was talking about using a step-up transformer and how good it sounded, and it made the, the sound from his turntable sound even better. Now, just to give you a little bit of technical background in case that you're not aware, a step-up transformer is a device that is used in between your turntable if it's using an MC cartridge, that is a moving coil cartridge that has a really low output, and the moving magnet input on your integrated amplifier or preamplifier in order to increase the level to increase the gain to a level where it can be handled by a moving magnet phono stage, basically. That's what it does. And there are different flavors of it, like not flavors, but different levels of gain. Usually it's like 12 dB or 20 dB or, somewhere around that kind of level. What it does is that in addition to increasing the gain level, it also increases the impedance to match what is expected from a moving magnet cartridge. So that is 47 kilo ohms, and all moving magnet ones are the same. Moving coil ones are a little bit different. They have, like, on average there are 100 ohms, but there are some that are more, there are some that are less, but on average they are 100, most of them. Where it gets really weird is when it comes to their output, because the better the moving coil construction is, it means that it has a lot less wires, it's a lot lighter, it's more sensitive, but that means that it has to be really light, and it produces a very low voltage. Usually this is measured in microvolts, or which is like significantly lower than an input stage, an output stage from a CD player, which is in actual volts. So you need to have something that brings it up to volt level, basically. And I was doing research some years ago because I wanted to see if my moving coil cartridge that I have right now, which is an Affetta 2 from Riga, would work with the phono stage I was planning to buy, which is this one, which is the Premier R35, and it did. And there is a way of finding out how it works. So I was doing research, and as I said, like, I don't know, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I cannot remember, I found an article from Absolute Sound that explained exactly the science of doing it. Steve Guttenberg was very surprised to find that, increasing the gain made the phono stage, the sound from the turntable, sound a lot better and more lively and whatnot. And that is a function basically of running something with inadequate gain. And the sound, it will sound very soft, quite dull, maybe a little bit, drawn back, basically. If you give it proper gain, then it will sound as it should sound, and it will not have that kind of softness or, like, very much, sounding like really not very much alive. There is the other way around as well, because if you give it too much gain, then it will start, distorting, and it will mess it up. So you need to find the correct medium. I was surprised that Steve didn't, I call him Steve as if I know him, Steve Guttenberg did not know that that was the case, and he was surprised. But I think that a lot of people are just not aware of it, because it's one of those things that it can be measured, and there is a way of measuring it, and there is a way of dealing with it. So there is no magic or audiophile snake oil bullcrap. It's very pragmatic and very engineering led. So what's the story? So we have a cartridge that produces a very low voltage as an output, and we need to increase it to a certain level so that when it hits the preamp stage of your phono, of your amplifier, it can sort of deliver enough wattage to the speakers and to the rest of the chain, basically. As I said, CD players usually are around 2 volts, but because we start on a very low level from turntables, an ideal one, something that could be like manageable and ideal, is 1 volt from your turntable. All turntables, regardless, will always need a little bit more cranking up in order to reach the level that you can reach with a digital source or a line source, basically, whether it's tape, whether it's your streamer, CD, whatever it is, it needs to be cranked up a little bit higher. So we're not going for 2 volts because that is not feasible, but we can go with 1 volt. And there is a calculation that you can do. So, first of all, the first thing that you need to, first things first, you need to know what are the specs of your cartridge. There are 3 different things, and I've written these down because it's not something that I do every day, but you do it once and you do it right, and job done. So there are a couple of things that you need to check. First of all is load impedance, capacitance, and the output, how much output the cartridge has. Load impedance and capacitance, usually if you have an external phono stage, usually you can match it, and ideally you should just match whatever is required from the cartridge. You can play around with them, it does change the sound, but it's like it's an extra. So once you have, these are easy to change, and most phono stages have the capability of playing around and matching different kinds of values for impedance and capacitance. Definitely. In my case, the load impedance is 100 ohms, which is usually what moving coil cartridges have. Majority of them would be around 100. There are some that are less, some of them that are more, but more or less it's 100. And the capacitance is 1000 picofarads. Again, this is not like completely out of the ordinary. I think that this is a little bit of a higher value cartridge. I think that the capacitance usually is a little bit lower, but anyway, it's not significant. As long as the phono stage that you have you can match those values, you're good. The problem is with the gain, and in order to calculate the gain, you need to know the output. Now, the Affetta 2 that I have is stated by Riga that it has 350 microvolts. A microvolt is one with the mu, the Greek m, basically, mu. That is 350 microvolts. Now, 1000 microvolts is 1 millivolt, and 1000 millivolts is 1 volt. So the first thing that we need to do is, you need a calculator, and you need a calculator with log. So I will use my phone basically because it has a scientific log thingy. So what have we got? We have 350. Let's find out exactly. So we have 350, right? Divided by 10,000, sorry, it's not 10,000, it's 100,000. 350 divided by 100,000. Divided. I pressed C. 350. I'm doing this again. Sorry. Divided by 100,000. Right. This is not right. It's 1 million actually. Yeah, because it's 1,000 times 1,000, so it's a million. Sorry. I should have been prepared, right? You think that? Anyway, so that's the first thing. So this is the value in volts. So this is the volt output of 350 microvolts based on the spec sheet for the Afeta 2. Right, so that's the first thing. Now, it's 0.003035. Right, then what we do is 1 divided by 0.0035, and this is the ratio of said output per volt. Now what we do is there is a log button, you can see it there, so you press the log and this is the log, this is the log number, and then what you do is you multiply this by 20, and this is the gain in dB that you need to apply for your phono stage in order for this cartridge to deliver 1 volt. I will put that the link in the description below. You might say, oh yeah, well, you know, that absolute sounds guy, you know, that's one guy saying it, so, you know, what does that really mean, Andreas? Ha ha ha, because I know my guy from blah blah blah, or whatever the case may be, you know, like, you know, you put whatever you want. Haha, and here's the not the catch, but here's the proof. So because I was using an Afeta 2, initially I bought Riga phono stage, and the Riga phono stage for the MC cartridge that is designed for Riga cartridges, MC cartridges, has, let me just check to make sure that I'm saying the right thing here, is, oh no, so what was I saying? What is the output of the calculation again? 69.11, right? Right. So let's just check what is the, sorry, I'm accessing a site here. It's called Audiophilia, and it happens to have, right, and let's see, the dip switches on the Riga Aria phono stage on the manual suggestion of set gain, high gain, the high gain setting for that phono stage is 69.3 dB. So it's not just, you know, the absolute sound guy's opinion or my opinion, it's also shared by Riga that, well, you know, they're kind of known for turntables and cartridges, so they probably know a few things. Now, you know, it might not be convenient for you to have, you know, you have to check basically. And the same calculation actually works for your cartridge. And in my experience, what I have seen, this is another thing that I want to say, is that from what I have seen is that most phono stages, they have, they don't deliver enough dB of gain. So you see, like, phono cartridges, phono stages, say, oh, it's 40 dB. And MC cartridges, like, really good ones and expensive ones, say like, oh yeah, we've like, 60 dB. With this cartridge, it's 9 dB lower than it's needed. If you put it through that phono stage, not that one, because that actually can deliver up to 72. So I have it set to 70, I think, because the next one down is, I cannot remember. Anyway, it's like 68 or 70, something along those lines. Doesn't matter. I think I've set it to 70. So if I bought like another one that is like 60, then it means that it's running 9 dB lower, and 9 dB is a lot. And same goes with phono stages. Some cartridges need 45, some of them need 44, and it's like, if it's like 41 and you're running at 40, like, meh, it's okay, 1 dB, it's not a big deal. But 3 dB, 4 dB, 5 dB maybe, that's a big difference. With MC cartridges, that could be even more. There are some that are even less sensitive than this one. Some of the most expensive ones could be like 250 microvolts. It's like, it's a big difference. You might need to have like, a 75 dB output stage, that gain for the output to actually, do stuff. So yeah, that can be mitigated with a step-up transformer. The step-up transformer can give you another, 12 dB or 20 dB. But if your phono stage is 40 and you give it 12, that's still 62. Maybe, I don't know, maybe, it's calculated differently. 40 plus 12, no, what did I say? It's 52. 20 is 60. So there's still a big gap there. And, it will improve things for sure, but it's still not going to be there. So, yeah. Anyway, I hope you found this somewhat helpful. I've been trying to explain this to people in various forums and whatnot, and it just doesn't come across. And to be fair, I think that this is not going to come across, people won't understand it still. I have a feeling, but it's fine. It's all right. I will put the link in the description. You can have a look, and you do your calculations and see what comes up. Anyway, that's a video for today. I hope you found it interesting, and you learned something. And yeah, that's it. Have a lovely evening, morning, afternoon, whatever, and I will see you around.